Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. This is the first Monday in March 2019, March 4th. We are indeed marching through 2019. Today we're going to do more reading from, move the keyboard out of the way, more reading from Art Psalms, Alex Gray. Whoa. Peace, welcome Dee, welcome. More reading from Art Psalms. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started because I want to try to get some yoga in before I continue on with the rest of my day. I'm a little bit slow moving here today. So I'm Tamu and Ngina, Priestess Heart. I'm very happy to be here with you guys again. And please let me know if my volume is not up to par. I am speaking a little bit low. If I need to project my voice a little more, please do let me know. So let's go ahead and take a nice deep centering breath and welcome us into this sacred space. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's funny, when I did the chimes this time, the first thing that came into mind was Close Encounters. Was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The little tone that's there. You know, it's all about frequency and tone. Okay, so we have Art Psalms by Alex Gray. And we left off the last time at Seer. So that's where I'm going to see about maybe doing at least 2 poems. And then Nature of the Artist Soul. Okay, maybe 3 because these all go together. So we're going to do some Art Psalms reading. And I hope that it inspires you. Okay, there we go. I love that painting. The Seer. From the caves of Altamira to a New York studio, the Seer has inspired the artist with visions' unceasing flow. The Seer is the soul of the artist, magus through ages untold, transmuting the lead of matter into bullets of spiritual gold. The ego picks up the weapon of art, childlike. It plays with the trigger, blowing the head off its contracted self. Awareness is suddenly bigger. By slaying the ego and stunning the chatter of thoughts as they arise. Hold on one moment. Let's go back to that. By slaying the ego and stunning the chatter of thoughts as they arise. Great art shuts out distractions, delighting the heart through the eyes. The Seer is the soul of the artist, revealing the mystery as form, advancing our civilization by inventing and destroying the norm. The redemptive sorceress art can heal the nausea of being, opening vistas of hope and beauty, revealing deep patterns of meaning. The function of art is to stop us and take us out of our skin, unveiling the spirit's pure nakedness without beginning or end. The seer is the soul of the artist, gaze fixed on primordial perfection. Radiance emerges from emptiness, each point of light etched with affection. The boundless void, open and formless, is the basis of all creation. Visions appear and then dissolve, reinforcing this realization. From beyond, the vision descends. From within, the vision arises, coalescing in the divine imagination, source of continual surprises. The seer is the soul of the artist. The maker is the artist's hand. In the studio, their conversations translate a timeless command. These dialogues of maker and seer weave together matter with soul, consecrating the practice of art as speech of the ineffable. Art making transforms the artist, and to any hearts truly under creation's intoxicating spell, the seer transmits holy wonder. When I read, a lot of the times, when I read, or even when people are speaking to me, all of a sudden pictures and images pop into my mind. It's one of the reasons why I have to be careful what I watch on television, especially the news, and who I follow on social media, because it's either you want to have in your mind visions of creation and beauty and manifesting that, or you can end up having visions of death and destruction. And it's not that I live in a world of Pollyanna. Let me tell you, I've been to the depths of hell and back more times than I would care to admit. I think it's important. So as I was reading this last poem by Alex Gray, where was it? There were a couple of lines in here that reminded me of, I don't know if it's Asian culture in particular, or particularly only in Japanese culture, and even in India, the art of beautifying your surroundings, of, of making things beautiful. And it's a way of bringing heaven on earth, or transforming earth into heaven. And what is heaven in that context? That place of beauty and comfort and quote unquote perfection. There's an organization that I'm a member of called Shumei. It's actually a Japanese organization. And they stand on 3 pillars. And that is natural agriculture, which is a little different from organic agriculture. It's all about totally working with the earth to bring out the nutrients of the earth, which without adding any type of manufactured or, man concocted, quote unquote, organic fertilizer. And they're another pillar, and these are not necessarily in order, but Jo-Ray, which is purifying spirit, which is healing. It's sort of like Reiki, but not. You don't actually touch the person, but you place your palm towards the person about 2 feet away from the person, directly at their forehead, and allow purifying energy to come out of your palm into them. And it's a beautiful meditation. And then the third pillar is beautifying the environment. And that actually was the pillar that attracted me to this organization, because I had been around the organization, loosely involved, sort of. I used to run a Reiki share like 11 years ago, and one of the ladies who would come to the Reiki share, she was a Jo-Ray practitioner. And I was like, well, I practice Reiki. I'm Reiki. There's no reason for me to, learn yet another quote unquote modality, because I believe in the oneness, of all that is. But when I went to the presentation they had and realized they are really into preserving art and creating art and beautifying the environment, I was like, oh, this is right up my alley. So anyway, I digress. So let's go to the next poem. And maybe we can all commit in our own way to helping to make our surrounding environment more beautiful. Right now, what I'm committed to is purging a lot of my belongings. I want to cut down my book collection to yet 50% again. And release some clothes that I don't even wear, and maybe some art supplies. So y'all pray for me. All right, let's go on. Nature of an artist's soul. The artist's soul is like wildflowers growing in a ditch. The artist's soul is like the bee, busily gathering sustenance from God's beauty, returning to the nest of the studio and transforming the pollen of creation into the honey of art, a sweetness for all. The artist's soul is like a mountain, indistinct and mist-covered. It sometimes fades from view as if not there at all. The artist's soul is like a tree with roots in the heavens and limbs branching to earth, explosively blooming creation. The artist's soul is like a deer darting out in front of our philosophical car. The deer escapes unharmed, and we need a new philosophy. The artist's soul is like a hidden spring leaking up through the ground, making pools in the forest. Both mosquitoes and tadpoles thrive in it. The artist's soul is like a rocky field. Plow it, and you'll bust your plow. The artist's soul is like a wasp which builds its nest on your house. It's beautiful, but scary. The artist's soul is like a bear, big and dumb. Get out of its way. It does what it pleases. The artist's soul is like the birds which herald a new dawn, up before everyone. Their song is rarely heard, breaking the still silence of night. As the sun emerges from the horizon, inflaming the world with living color, sharp orange and pink on the clouds, the artist's soul is like that. The artist's soul is like the sky and clouds, constantly building amazing shapes, now wispy, now tempestuous, completely blocking the source of light, then dissolving into brilliant clarity. The artist's soul. And here's the last one we will do. So take a good look at this image. What's cool about Alex Gray, he touches the meridian points, the ley lines on the earth, all of the energy. This is what he saw when he was, I'm not encouraging it, but this is what he saw. So we're going to read The Inner Artist. The inner artist guides us toward action that serves our soul's emergence. The inner artist is not the voice of reason. The inner artist can have wild and impossible ideas. Artists are most themselves when they are out of their minds, transcending the ego skirmishes of conceptual thought and intuitively relinquishing control to the greater creator. The inner artist can have wild and impossible ideas. The inner artist is not the voice of comfort. The artist challenges us to work at the peak of our potential and guides us toward greater beauty, meaning, and love. What decisions in our lives and work would satisfy and fulfill the artist in our soul? If our lives are the most important canvas, let the inner artist guide the strokes and make the best possible picture of it. If our lives are the most important theatrical production, let the inner artist unfold the plot, making decisions that bring excitement, wonder, and revelation into life. How does every nuance and whisper of color, design, or music affect our feelings? Our artist temperament is deeply penetrated by the experiences of all the senses, not just the five senses, but the moral and spiritual sense as well. The artist's soul is open to and pounded by all the forces of creation, yet instead of shattering, is compressed into a radiant diamond. The inner artist is not only sensitive, but takes action to make each project and life itself into a beautiful and meaningful creation. The inner artist finds inventive ways of sharing gifts, inviting relationships, and participation in life. The inner artist has faith in and surrenders to God's limitless creativity, combining aspects of both the mystic and the engineer to bring spirit into form. Listen to the inner artist and begin your magnum opus. That's it. So there you go. Art Songs by Alex Gray. And I have to apologize for my pausing there. I might have skipped one small line, I'm not sure. But we have another snow day here, and the little one is home from school, and he wanted an icy and decided to try to ask me a question that distracted me, wanted me to read his lips. So anyway. Okay, so if anybody would like 22 major arcana pulled for them, let me know. And then we'll go ahead and release ourselves from today. And I'd like to welcome Pavel, D, Sir Tony. I have no idea, Sir Tony. Just tell me. Christina. So welcome, guys. You are here, Sir Tony. All right. So, of course, we always want to... Okay. Why did I fall for that one? I don't know. Why did I fall for that one? Anyway. Thank you. Okay. So, always to remind us, we are constant creators. We're constantly creating, either consciously or unconsciously. We are constantly creating. What do you want to create? Of course, everyone says they want to create, abundance. They want to create love. They want to create this or that. But yet, in their thoughts of thoughts, they're thinking about all the ways that they'll never get it or do not deserve it. And I'm not excluding myself. We live in a society where we're conditioned to accept limitations. And, it's a challenge to release those limitations and to let that go and to remember that we are limitless. So what I'm going to do, you take care. Bye, Sir Tony. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a card for all of us, and then I'm going to have to get going because I don't want this one to be overly long. Okay. Just some energy for us to hold on to for today and contemplate on if you would like to or not. And you guys are seeing my favorite stones in the background, and labradorite here and lapis lazuli right there, black tourmaline, selenite, moon, and sunstone. I gotta look this one up. I forget. I don't know if it's rhoda something light. I cannot remember. This one's carnelian, and I think this one is either topaz or citrine. Not sure. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Just kind of goes hand in hand what I was just talking about that we are, we're constantly creating. We're constantly creating what we want, creating what we don't want. So the hangman invites you to let go and allow yourself to be suspended and allow yourself to think and feel and move from your upper room down, or, seeing everything with a whole new perspective, bridging that gap so that you can be able to release and let go of the conditionings that society has put a fence around us. We don't need any extra fences. Reminds me of one of the tenets in Orthodox Judaism. You have the written Torah, the five, is it the 4 books, 5 books of Moses. Then you have the oral Torah. So not only do you have the 613 mitzvot, commandments, mitzvot in the Torah, you have the tradition of the oral Torah that has even more commandments and things that you should or shouldn't do. And the whole idea is to put a fence around the people so that they do not transgress the 613 commandments that are already there. And so almost basically what you have is your hands tied behind your back, so afraid to move this way or that way for fear of violating the quote-unquote Torah, when in fact that fence and those hedges are man-made rules. Well, then you can also look at the Torah as being man-made rules, but we're not getting into that. But that's just my personal point of reference to understand that the only limits that we truly have are the limits that we put on ourselves. So what will you do today? What will you think today? What will you feel today that would allow you to see not only the world, not only society, but yourself in a different light? And when you allow yourself to be turned upside down and inside out and let go of what modern society considers as normal, when you allow yourself to hang upside down and to see the world in a different way, what do you have here? You have new growth that begins to come out. So there you go. All right, y'all. I have to get going. I need to go do some yoga. So thank you so much for being here. Please remember to like this video, to share this video, do all of that stuff. I am awaiting some deliveries today, so I might have an unboxing later. And I believe, later this evening, I should have a guest on. But we will see. As you know, nothing's written in stone. So let's take a moment to remember our ancestors and to remember all those who have come before us. Yeah, Pavel. All right, y'all. Have a great day. I wish you peace and great bliss. And until next time, keep going, keep going. Love you much. Bye-bye.